And it's some 33 minutes after 6. Just before we get into the newspapers, we want to speak to a senior research fellow at the Legon Center for International Affairs and Diplomacy, Dr. Vladimir Enchidanso joins us via phone now. We're going to talk more about the xenophobic attacks in South Africa. Hello, good morning, sir. If you can hear me, I want to say thank you for your time. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. If you can hear me, thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome.
Okay. So in terms of updates as to what is happening in South Africa, we just read a piece from Nigeria where they're making, they're calling on citizens of Nigeria who are in South Africa who want to return home to seek for assistance and also to close their shops. We haven't heard anything from the Ghana government. Should they be coming out now to say something? Because yesterday we heard that a Ghanaian had been killed.
Well, it has not been confirmed fully yet whether it's true that a Ghanaian has been killed. But it's an unfortunate situation, and each country would want to study the situation before making any remarks or trying to evacuate its citizens. You remember the case of Libya. Several countries did evacuate long before Ghana did. It depends on a whole lot of things. So Nigeria has a lot of people in South Africa. In fact, xenophobia in South Africa at times, it turned on seriously people from DR Congo, Zambia, and others, and then Nigeria can't spread. And so I'm not surprised that Nigeria has taken the steps to try to evacuate its citizens. Ghana government might be taking some precautions, noting how many citizens it has and whether they are part of the targets and things like that. So let's wait patiently. Let's not stampede our government to make erratic decisions that might in future sell the relationship between us and South Africa. Remember, if we take any precipitate decision, especially through the media or through reprisal attacks on South Africans here in Ghana, it would escalate the situation. So in all these things, diplomacy is the beacon.
Dr. Enchidanso, a lot of people are surprised and we're wondering, where did this come from? Suddenly, it sounds.
Well, it is historical. You know, apartheid was long and devastating. During the period of apartheid, South Africans knew nothing but war and this kind of killings and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot. South Africa has the highest per capita of crime in the world. People don't know this. It's higher than in the U.S. And so it's a legacy from the apartheid era. You remember soon after apartheid, there was a black-on-black kind of war, call it. And so that hasn't died down. So indiscipline in the society is great. Secondly, when there is anytime there is a downturn of an economy, the citizens of that country tend to blame non-citizens. It's everywhere, white world, black world. Then thirdly, the government of today in South Africa is itself a little undisciplined. ANC has become an amorphous kind of albatross on the neck of South Africans. And because the government itself is indisciplined and they are unable to take charge of crime, look at what happened quite recently with the miners. The South African black and white officers shooting at their fellow South Africans. I mean, directly as if it were the apartheid period. So indiscipline is one of the greatest culprits in this issue. And I believe the economy is having a downturn, and that is the reason.
Perhaps another thing that is shocking for a lot of Africans also is the fact that they're doing this to their fellow black Africans, not to advocate for any attacks on whites in South Africa, but people are wondering why, if you are angry at someone, why should it be your colleague black?
Well, the point is that most of the whites are armed, number one. Number two, it's difficult to get to the whites. Number three, it's also because when it comes to the question of strifes like this one, chaos like this one, people are just crazy. If you saw the clips, you wouldn't think that it's human beings who are doing this. And they are doing it even like a game. You know, people are watching, nobody was intervening, and it's quite barbaric. And it's because in times of chaos, people are just crazy. I mean, it's a crowd kind of psychology and doing it for fun. So when it comes to that point, you would see that people are just they are no more human beings. And that's all I can say about it, because I don't I can't fathom how a human being can treat another human being worse than would treat a dog.
Finally, Doc, what should be the relationship between Ghana and South Africa going forward, knowing what we know, knowing what is happening?
No, I think Ghana has to condemn this in unreserved terms. Ghana has to show anger. Ghana, as a founding member of the OAU, should show serious anger. I believe our Ministry of Foreign Affairs must have done that quietly. They may have called the South African High Commissioner and maybe expressed our anger. It must come out openly. Ghana must also indicate the fact that this is not acceptable in the interest of the AU. Ghana must, at any forum, take the opportunity to show that, Africa does not have to entertain such a thing. Again, with our relationship, the only thing is that no more of this. And our relationship will be determined by how they relate to our citizens and how we relate to their citizens.
And perhaps this will be the very final. Should the AU and ECOWAS be doing something about this? Should we be hearing from them by now?
Absolutely, yes. The AU must come out boldly. This is a thing that should not happen to fellow citizens. The SADC, especially where South Africa is the leader, the South Africa Development Community, must condemn it in unreserved terms in the first place. The culprits must be brought to book openly for the world to see that South Africa means business. Other than that, there will be reprisal attacks. I can imagine Nigeria having reprisal attacks on South Africans. So we don't have to entertain this, absolutely. So SADC, ECOWAS, the AU itself should, within a matter of seconds, be able to come out condemning the whole thing and making sure that these things don't happen anywhere in the world of Africa.
But this is also very tricky, considering that the chair of ECOWAS is our president.
Come again?
I'm saying that isn't it a bit tricky for our own president, who also happens to be the chairman of ECOWAS? Because is he talking for us as Ghana, or he will be speaking on behalf of ECOWAS?
Both. As chair of ECOWAS, he should condemn it and admonish ECOWAS not to emulate the example and keep ECOWAS intact, blah, 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 blah. That's more diplomatic. He'll be talking both for Ghana and for ECOWAS. This is the opportunity. This is the opportunity. You must show that kind of leadership that abhors this kind of horrendous attack. Secondly, it will be an opportunity for him to assert himself as chair of one of the wings of the blocks of the AU. I believe that he has to do this.
All right, Dr. Vladimir Enchidan, so I'm really grateful for your time this morning. That's a senior research fellow at the Legon Center for International Affairs and Diplomacy, Dr. Vladimir Enchidan. So his take on this xenophobic attack, saying that the AU and ECOWAS indeed must be taking an action, must be condemning this and making a clear statement by now. Okay, so we'll tell you what's making headlines in the newspapers. We're back to Ghana.
All right, so now we have the papers in the studio. We'll start with the Daily Guide on the front page. I regret all die be die, says Akufo-Addo. And we have radio girl sex at staged, according to the police. And those are the stories we have on the front page of the Daily Guide.
I have the Daily Graphic newspaper next. Front page, Media Foundation for West Africa condemns MPs for demanding TNT from events organizers. Just a little bit of it for you, and this is page 13. They have so much as MPs, don't they? Okay, so the Executive Director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, Mr. Suleiman Brahima, has condemned the practice whereby some members of Parliament demand travel and transportation allowance before honoring invitations to events. I'm sure when you continue to read, they would give you a few examples that you can fall on. Yeah, but I don't know how you interpret this. Is it different from when journalists go on assignment and they take Solly? This is more like solid for the MP. Takrady radio presenter abduction saga. 1 arrested for posting pictures, 3 on the run. What we do know is that the lady herself has not spoken. We don't know her side of the story yet. Rainstorm, back page of the Daily Graphic. Rainstorm renders Bimbela residents homeless. That's it for the graphic.
Front page of the Ghanaian Times has a story, cheating SHS head to be demoted. And up there we have street naming in Accra to end October. Residents express worry over LPG stations. AMA secures 2.8 million euros for Lavender Hill project. Down there we have police nab one in rape case. And the editorial is about stop the spinning tale of rape. Back page. Continuation of the stories, but also talks about 1,000 rendered homeless at Bimbala following torrential rains over there.
Okay, I'll do the Weekend Sun now. The Weekend Sun newspaper story caught my attention. Front page of the paper. To kill Galamsey, jail chiefs, ex-mines inspector seem to be saying. Kids with CP bedding of a blessing. Also exposed Ghana's top mining polluters. But the story of interest is man 23 drowns chasing grass cutter. The full story is on the back page of the paper, and it says that expectations of a family that they could land a grass cutter for a sumptuous meal on Friday turned into dirges and lamentations as their son, brother, and friend landed in a purportedly unfenced dam owned by the mining giant Newmont's Ghana Gold.
He was chasing.
Limited. So he was chasing it, yeah.
Like Mr. Bean, you know, where you see the thing, he's chasing the thing, and he went into the river and drowned.
And the story says that...
You didn't see the dam?
No.
Surprises me.
As if that is not enough, the family of the deceased, Isaka Ibrahim, must cough up 2,000 Ghana cedis and 2 sheep for chiefs to use for pacification rituals.
Because you defile the water?
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean.
Is that drinking water source?
I'm sure. I mean, you can read the details of it, but this is really sad, and I can't believe that with this tragedy, they're taking 2,000 Ghana cedis and 2 sheep.
Going for the gods. Right.
For pacification.
Good.
Oh, Charlie, amazing.
You are dead. You now, your family too is paying money. Now. And I said it yesterday. I said it was a mistake on Thursday. Well, it's been corrected and they've apologized for it. Today, you get what you vote for. That's a quote from the man. And so up there they have the apology. We apologize for the error that occurred in our second front page story yesterday, which headline was, you vote what you get. The headline instead should read, you get what you vote for. We have, therefore, reproduced the story. Source to the editor. Right.
Can I buy you lunch today? Can I apologize to you?
Oh,
I
no,
apologize
no,
to that. Oh my God.
Review Minerals, the Mining Act, Wacom, and ASAP Edge Government. So those are the stories we have on the front page. They are making us read a story again. Twice, 2 days in a row.
I've got the Chronicle newspaper next. The Chronicle front page, my girl is not mad. Radio presenter's father whines, and this story will certainly not go away. I don't know what to make of it, so I have refused
to make commentary.
Exactly.
Aside with you.
IMF alone can't solve Ghana's problems, says an economist. Well, it's your own, Roland, your own Dr. John Gachi there, who's saying that, and he's on the front page of the paper. Students' demo must be civil, says Ablakwa. Back page, income sued $65,000 by landlord for not paying rents and damage to property. Suarez takes Barcelona past 400 Champions League goals. David Luiz plays like an 8-year-old. Oh, that's below the belts, says Glenn Hoddle. That's a former England coach. Oh my God. Okay, so we've got a lot more sports coming up right after the headlines. And we have the General Telegraph, National Database of Skilled Labor coming soon to help employers recruit Ghanaians with employable skills. Che Mensa Bonsu's political empire under siege as Houston-trained lawyer. Oh, I think a Houston-trained lawyer. And Gimpa lecturer moves to Anseti. I think he's lost already. Who's the Gimpa lawyer?
He's threatening your minority leader.
Yeah. Well, what's wrong with that?
I don't think he'll succeed.
Okay, yeah, that's your opinion.
Yeah, sure. I'm entitled to my opinion.
Unfortunately, you don't even vote.
Yeah, freedom of speech. 1992 Constitution grants us that. Back page, my tip is Manny Pacquiao, and apparently Ghana's Onzunzum, Azuma Nelson, professor of boxing, has also tipped Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, I want him to beat Mayweather. Mayweather rushing with the money. every time he's taking pictures with stash of cash of dollars.
The reason that I'm tempted to support Pacquiao is, you know, the humanitarian side of him.
Yeah. And I hear he's an assembly person. He's
yeah,
like an
he's,
MP.
you know, like a local rep, you know, something of the sort. And you know, and that's why I kind of support him. But that will be it for the newspapers. Just before we go, though, just, you know, some kind of updates for you at myjoyonline.com. This has to do with KKD. The headline says that court orders Nyaho Clinic police to hand over report to KKD lawyers, and that the court has granted a request by lawyers for KKD for medical records and reports of police findings to be handed him in the ongoing determination of a rape charge brought against the Ace broadcasters. For the lawyers for the embattled broadcaster and fashion icon pray the court to compel medical officers at Nyaho Medical Center to furnish them with medical records of the alleged rape victim, 19-year-old, and we know that story too well. You can read details of it at myjoyonline.com, and we've also got a little headlines there for you as well. Oh, this is another one of interest that you probably might want to read on WikiLeaks at myjoyonline.com. That's it for the newspapers, unless you have something that you want to wrap up with?
I don't.
Okay, so we're done with the papers. We'll come back and do sports for you. You're still here on the AM show. If you've got something that you want to pass on to us, please visit our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Joy News on TV.
Okay, right now we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll have sports.
Yeah, say whatever it is you want to say. We have sports for you.
Right, sports.